If I ask who will win the Premier League this season, the answer probably would be very simple to 80% of the crowd. Manchester City, right?
Who else?
And if I ask who will challenge Manchester City this season and might even win it at the end, dethroning City for the first time in 4 years, that answer also probably isn't that tough. It's probably gonna be Liverpool or Arsenal. Now just think for a couple of good seconds and try to answer this. Why do you think so? What is City doing it right time after time, and Liverpool and Arsenal are also doing to some extent that teams like Chelsea or Manchester United are missing? I'll jump into that soon, so please don't go anywhere, but before that, let's revisit what happened in the Premier League in the last 10-15 years or so. Last time Chelsea owned the Premier League was back in 2016-17, and it has been 6 years since they didn't touch that very specific silverware.
It's not like we haven't tried.
Since Roman Abramovich took over, Premier League audiences got pretty used to Chelsea winning the league every 3-4 years. They have owned it in 2005, 6, 10, 15 and 17. So 5 times in 13 years. What has happened since then? Why aren't they winning any in recent times? Well, a few things that happened can be spotted by any regular football fan, and you don't need to be a pundit for that. I'll discuss the deeper reasons soon enough in this video, but let's first look at those other obvious things. First of all, Manchester City happened. They have won 5 out of the last 6 Premier League titles.
Leave us something.
So it's not just like Chelsea aren't winning any Premier League title. Basically none of the elite clubs are, other than Manchester City, and well, Liverpool once. But here's 2 things to mention. First, previously, when Chelsea first started to win the league on a regular basis, Manchester United and Arsenal were like Manchester City now. I don't think I need to explain how great Sir Alex was and how incredible Manchester United were back then. There has been a time period when United won 3 Premier League titles in a row too.
I'm not the king I once was.
But then again, Chelsea came back to win the next one. Why aren't they able to do that now? And secondly, this is not just about winning the league. Liverpool also owned the league just once in these 6 years, but they came really close the other 2 times. Both of the times, the titles were basically decided on a very last intense day of Premier League football. Last year, Arsenal were in the competition for a very long time, and at some point it was looking like they're actually gonna win it. But this is the point, Chelsea haven't actually done that in the last 6 years. In last 6 years, Chelsea's highest Premier League point was 74, and they haven't crossed even the 80-point mark for once. Nowadays, Premier League winners almost all the time win it near or above that 90-point region. So even the seasons where Chelsea finished 3rd in the league, they were actually nowhere near the title race. Now that the scenario is established, let's dive deep into the reason, shall we? You need a lot of things to go right to win a league title, as it's a long 10-11 months race and consistency is key. But if we really look into the structure, most league winning teams have these key components in their recipes.
Oh, really? What recipe?
Number 1, one really gifted and fast winger who can dribble past 2-3 players, good at cutbacks and long-range diagonal shots, who can be a handful for defender, and it often takes 2-3 players to keep him quiet. Number 2, one central midfielder whose passing range and vision is phenomenal and who is pretty press resistant. Number 3, one natural finisher who is good at receiving the ball, whose first touch is solid, has really good positioning sense and good at winning and directing headers. Number 4, and in this point we'll mention 2 things. One really good center midfielder or CDM who basically breaks the attack and takes the ball forward, and one very solid center back. The reason I am saying this in one single point is, if in one of these 2 positions you have got someone who is really good, you can probably still be safe if the second one is just above average. In one of these 2 positions, you really need someone who has very good leadership skills. The reason that I didn't mention the most important thing in this list is that's kind of a no-brainer. Can you guess what that is?
Manager.
A great manager.
Yes, you are right. A top manager. Now let's get back to the point. Let's look at all the Premier League winning sides since 2010. Well, there are only 5 sides who have owned the PL title since then. Manchester United, Chelsea, Leicester City, Manchester City and Liverpool. The old Manchester United had seasoned phenomenal Ryan Giggs at the left wing, and he used to switch roles in between the game with Wayne Rooney, another legend of the Premier League. Both were very good at ball carrying, dribbling past players and pinpoint crossings. They had players like Nani Kagawa as backup in the wings and mid. Scholes was the center midfielder who used to do all the magic in the midfield, and they had Robin van Persie and Javier Hernandez as the striker along with some other options. Rio Ferdinand and Vidic, two of the Premier League's finest defenders, used to still guard United's defense day and night.
I have an appointment with Lord Tyrion.
You put your hand on that door, you lose the hand.
Chelsea's 2010 winning side had the best attacking force probably they ever had in their history. They had King Drogba along with Anelka and Kalu at the striking position. Florent Malouda had one of his best seasons in the league, scoring 12 times and assisting in 6 more cases. And in their attacking and central midfield, they had players like Frank Lampard, Ballack, Michael Essien, Deco and Joe Cole in their arsenal. And in centre back and left back positions, they had probably two of the greatest Premier League ever had in those positions, John Terry and Ashley Cole. After that, Chelsea won again twice in 3 years, one under Jose Mourinho in 2014-15 and the second one under Antonio Conte in 2016-17. Under Jose Mourinho, Matic was an absolute beast in the central defending mid position, probably one of the best in the world right then. Chelsea had defenders like Terry and Cahill in their centre-back positions. Hazard, Cesc and Costa were phenomenal and lethal in left wing, central mid and centre-forward positions respectively. And most of them carried that form under Antonio Conte apart from Matic, but Matic was replaced by an even better player, the one and only N'Golo Kante. In Conte's title-winning season, though Terry was in the team, he was not the same old Terry anymore because of his age, but Gary Cahill and Azpilicueta took the charge of leading the defense and did really well.
Thank you, gentlemen. We will take it from here.
City won the Premier League under 3 different managers. Among them, the first two, Mancini and Pellegrini, had very similar or the same squad. Manchester City's first title-winning squad in 2011-12 had the likes of Aguero, Zeko and Balotelli in their striking position. The playmaker from the middle was Yaya Toure, who was literally unstoppable, and they had Sami Nasri and David Silva in both wings to create all sorts of problems possible in a football field. Above all, they had Vincent Kompany leading the whole team and the defense from the back. In Leicester City's miraculous title-winning run of 2015-16, Vardy was in the form of his life and scored in 11 consecutive Premier League matches to break the previous league record, and Riyad Mahrez became the first African and first Algerian player to be the recipient of the PFA Players Player of the Year. Danny Drinkwater and Mark Albrighton combinedly did the job of that playmaker role from the central zone. Nothing to take away from Leicester City, but that was a weird season where all the other Premier League big team was going through a rebuilding phase, and Leicester managed to win the league with only 81 points, which is the lowest for a PL winning team in last good 10-12 years, but was still 10 points more than the second place Arsenal. Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool probably had two of the best wingers at the same team that Premier League had hardly seen. You know who we are talking about here, Salah and Mane. Firmino did a phenomenal job in the striking position, and to support him adequately they had Divock Origi. Origi never actually played up to his potential, but he gave Liverpool some of their sweetest moments. Liverpool's centre midfield did an okay job as their main creation was from two wing and wing back positions. Alexander-Arnold and Robertson both are very attacking minded wing backs, so though Liverpool didn't have a super strong central or defensive midfield, Henderson, Milner, Fabinho did a very decent job there, and VVD was phenomenal both in defending and leading from the back. During their title and UCL winning season, he was probably the best centre back of the world.
One of the best. Maybe the best.
Guardiola has won 5 out of 7 Premier League titles that he coached for with Manchester City, and his team had Sterling, Mahrez, Grealish, Foden and Silva in their two wings. Kevin De Bruyne, who is probably among the top 3 best attacking midfielders of the decade, if not the best, along with Bernardo Silva, David Silva and Gundogan. Sergio Aguero, Gabriel Jesus and Haaland were on the striker positions, and they had DMs like Fernandinho and Rodri and centre backs like Kompany, Ruben Dias, Stones over the years. So I have gone through all the title winning teams since 2010. If you want, you can go back and check since whatever timeline you want, but I'm pretty sure without some bizarre scenarios, all PL title winning team had charismatic winger in one or both wings, a deadly finisher with good positioning and the other above mentioned capabilities, a creator with a vision and an instant passing range, and a leader in the DM or centre back position supervised by a top manager. A lot of you might wonder that why I didn't mention anything about goalkeeper.
Why?
Just why?
Well, the keeping position is important, but a lot of Premier League keepers are generally very top-notch and can win you the title if all of the other departments of the team work well. That's why I don't think a top goalkeeper is a must-have in this recipe, but yes, it will make things definitely tastier. That's it for today guys. This video is longer than my other ones and did take a lot of time to make. So if you like this video, please dump a like and subscribe to our channel for more football related content like this. If you think I missed something here, please let us know in the comment. Stay safe, stay healthy. Until next time, tada.